All right, everybody, welcome back. Coming up right now, we have got BT and their run of Grow Home. BT, take it away.
Hello, I am BT. This is Oscar, my special guest who was supposed to be joining me on camera but has decided that he's going to steal my bribes and run away. We also have a second special guest joining us, Cross, who is going to be co-commentating with this run. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, if you were watching yesterday, you saw me fumble a run and add an extra 5 minutes to it. So, I set the bar, everyone else clears it.
Of course. I mean, let's just hope I don't do the same thing. Anyway, I suppose we're a little ahead of time, so I can if I want to. But anyway, so this is Grow Home. This is an adorable little game about an adorable little robot who wants to grow a plant to get a seed to send his mum home. I will explain more when we are in-game, so the timer will begin when I click the confirm button here to overwrite the save game, because new game for 100% run. I'm running my own timer as well, just so I can keep myself right. So we will go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Best of luck.
So, opening cutscene that I need to remember to actually skip, because I keep getting distracted and not skipping it. So, this little guy here is Bud. He is a botanical utility droid. That is a little crystal that allows him to jump, because without gathering that, he is not able to jump. His job is to grow a plant and plug it into some glowing rocks. See that glowing rock up there? There's a lot of those. So, we have many cutscenes here. Most of them are skippable after a while. Bud, as you can see, is a little bit funky. He is procedurally animated and the physics are fun, which is what makes this run quite as entertaining as it is. Ross has seen me play this game many times and be very frustrated and sometimes often quite sweary at it, so...
Yeah, but, I mean, for over the short time that you've been practicing this run, you've gotten so much better at it. Like, I cannot play this game. Like, I'm awful when it comes to any amount of randomness in the movement.
To be fair, that was like, I saw you playing for your first time, you did pretty much exactly what I did my first time playing. Because I bought this game years ago, and I played through it, and I've never 100%ed it, because the secondary objective, other than to grab the starseed by plugging the plant in, and I'll show you how you do that in a second, is to grab life forms and stick them into, there's a little red thing that we passed on the way up here. You grab plants and animals and put them in that and scan them, and that's like part of the 100% run, is scanning all of those. But we're just interested in plugging all of these little branches into or not all of the branches, but plugging plugging a branch into each of the rocks. Some of the cutscenes are more skippable than others, this one is just not. So the main weapons in your arsenal are the little flower I picked up right at the start there. That is a fall flower that acts as a kind of parachute. Oscar has decided to yell. That's the cat, by the way. I don't think I introduced him properly. That lets you mostly just correct. Obviously, it slows your falling and stops you dying if you fall too far. But mostly what it's used for the run is just correcting your movement a little when you're like flying through the air after jumping off a big bouncy leaf, because this is, as I say, an adorable little optimistic game about a robot. The reason I say Bud has to send his mum home is that the mothership is called Mom, M-O-M. Don't know what that stands for. Bud, we know what it stands for, but Mom is just Mom. That's just what she's called.
Yeah, I'd love to see people's guesses in the chat. I want to see.
Yeah, that would be good. I sadly don't have chat open because I have far too many windows, so if you can keep an eye on that, that would be grand.
Yeah, no worries.
One day I will have my third monitor back and all will be well in the world, but unfortunately due to working from home, my workstation is there, so...
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I also want to mention quickly that the little branch movement, that has somewhat random deviation added to it as well. So it's not a case of aiming it and then letting go, which you will see that they are letting go of it early to, move into a better position before it hits the little rock, but they constantly have to sort of fight it to make it go in a straight line.
Yeah, which is why you can probably hear my frantic keyboard tapping as I just try and keep it on task, and sometimes it just fights you deliberately, like it heads off in a weird direction. One of the things about this game is it says when you load it up, recommended you use a controller rather than a keyboard and mouse. I have never found that helpful in my life. I don't understand why anyone would. I think I used a controller the first time I played it, and it was just a little bit messy. Like, you can't click as fast. So the main kind of mechanic other than bouncing about is you're climbing by clicking and unclicking the right and left mouse buttons, or if you're using a controller, it would be the triggers, and it's just faster to click and unclick than it is to squeeze and release triggers. So we are once more plugging. And I have many gripes about the physics in this game, but most of them not just like the physics in terms of like game physics, but in the literal, like the scientific field of physics. Because you will see, like obviously we've got floating islands, and that's fine. They're magical glowing islands. It's probably okay. It's fine. It's internally consistent. What's not internally consistent is how the space rocks work, and I'll show you the space rocks later.
I didn't think there was anything internally consistent about the way this game's physics handle themselves.
Well, as I say, I'm not talking about game physics, I'm talking about the literal scientific discipline of physics.
I mean, that's fair enough, but you do also have to remember that you are playing a robot that does not have joints.
Yeah, his limbs just kind of exist. I don't know how they're attached, presumably with the same mystical force that keeps the glowing islands in the sky.
Magnets?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know if the magnets are what keep the islands going, but...
That's how most things hover.
Yeah. Well, like hovercraft? Just magnets above the English Channel?
No, I mean, like, I don't know, there's like this... I really don't know what I'm talking about here. It's cute little robot game. We don't need to bog ourselves down thinking about the logistics of how it all works. And
yeah, that's the thing. It's cute. It doesn't have to make sense, which is a motto I try to live my life by.
Yeah, much like you'll see during these little. I suppose they're roots really more than branches. But
I've been calling them offshoots when I was practicing because I had no idea what else to call them.
Shoots, roots, branches, whatever.
Yeah.
You'll notice that like while they're sort of holding onto them, the Bud's little legs kind of go a little bit weird.
Yeah.
As the surface below him is constantly trying to move, and he's constantly trying to find a little position for his feet. So the legs kind of just go everywhere. So
yeah, it's adorable procedural animation. I think it's slightly less janky in the sequel. There is a sequel to this game. It is called Grow Up. I have not yet played it, and I think my next port of call will be learning the 100% run for this game, because as I say, I've never actually 100% completed it, let alone tried to run it. But after that, I might give the sequel a shot. Who knows? Because I presume, I don't know what else one could possibly do with this game. Like, I feel like in terms of narrative, the story has been told, so I'm very curious to see what it's all about.
Yeah, actually, Sergeant Cookie in the chat actually brings up something quite interesting there. I'm not sure if it's physics, that feels more like biology, but he does ask, where is the plant getting the biomass to grow these branches so quickly?
The rocks, the glowy rocks. The whole point of the game is that the glowy rocks power the plant, so clearly the plant just had enough there was enough science in the plant already to keep it to grow the first few, and then the second it started plugging it in, it was growing a lot further, because as you will see when you plug in a decent number of these, because we'll get a brief hint of a cutscene right as this sixth one goes in here, which I will have to skip, but as you can see it just goes straight up like Jack and the Beanstalk. So we are back here again. I am not going to risk that. Sometimes I risk jumping that with a leaf, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take a thingy back across, because why wouldn't I? Nope. So, yeah, you know, nope, that's the complete opposite of the way I wanted to go, but it's fine. Oh, no. I mean, I got there eventually.
There was enough science in the plant already.
There was in fact enough science in the plant already. That's just how this thing works. Okay.
I still maintain magnets.
Magnets, I mean, theoretically, right? I'm going to run back and get a bit of a head start off a leaf, but because there's no way I'm going to make that jump on its own. However, I do seem to be doing okay with time, so that's...
By the way, do you mind if I hop in with a few donations?
Go for it.
Excellent. Well, we have $10 from a very appropriate Leaf saying, I had a great time. Thank you all for doing this. Well, thank you, Leaf, for your $10. And we also have $50 coming in from Phil115 Phil says, no one should be homeless in 2021. Thanks for all the great runs this weekend. Let's beat the previous record. And with that, we're $7 away from beating the winter 2021 total. So thank you all for your generosity. I look forward to breaking that total and breaking the summer 2020 total if we can.
Nice.
That does sound, yeah, that was, I think summer 20, did I watch? I can't remember. I was very late to the party with this whole community, but I definitely remember winter. That was a big one. Right, so as you can see, we've hopped onto another little island. This time we are going, as it says on screen, we've got 8 more to do. It's not actually 8 more islands, it is 6 islands and 2 space rocks, and here's where I get mad at the physics. Because, see, these islands are floating, right? But they're fixed in place, they're magic floating islands, that's at least internally consistent for a world with magic floating islands. Later on, we will leave the atmosphere to go and join our ship, and... Sorry, fighting this plant for all it's worth. We will leave the atmosphere to go join our ship, and we will enter a zone where gravity isn't, because, you know, that's how gravity works. Ooh, dear, that's fine, it's fine. Whew. I mean, I'm going down anyway, but I just didn't want to be going there exactly. There we go. Because everyone knows that's how space and gravity works. Just once you leave the atmosphere, that's just, you know, gravity is gone, it's finished.
Yeah, of course.
But aside from that bit of nonsense, oh, cat's back, hello. Let's go for this one, I think. So those rocks are floating. They are not affected by gravity, so clearly we have entered the zone where gravity is not real. Like, the rocks are, like, free-floating, they spin around if you interact with them, they're physics objects. And yet, gravity still applies to us. If we fall off the planet, we will plummet. Even though we have reached the height where gravity no longer applies to rocks.
Yep, because you are not a rock. You are a robot.
And? What did...
I think that's fairly self-explanatory, is it not?
Robots rock.
They do.
Okay, and we're gonna, while we're at this little island, we're gonna grab a top-up of our little floaty flower because, oops, I let go of that a little early. But it's fine, just because I want to be fully topped up on that when we, or I want to have at least plenty left when it comes time to jump off of the spaceship or jump off of the plant and into the spaceship. As one does, you know, standard method of transport, so we're heading up there next. Oh, bugger. Family show, it's fine. As I say, I have been in the past very sweary with this game, but it's fine.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry about that. Like, the games that I play, God, you should hear me the first time I try and learn them.
Yeah. It's, the combination of not paying attention to what I'm doing in order to talk, and then realizing, hang on, no, I need to be paying attention, is just the worst. But
also, I would like to mention that Green Moose in the chat says that the reason they can float is that the rocks are less dense than you.
Hey!
And then they went on to clarify, scientifically speaking. Not trying to
Listen, I know I'm an idiot scientifically, but that doesn't mean you get to say it. Right, okay. Anyway, we're going over here next. Okay. So we're gonna head up to this little one up here. Then you can see the other one down to the left, and after that is the last island before we head up to the space rocks. Once we hit the space rocks, because as you can see I've just been taking branches off of branches, you do eventually actually run out of these, but if you take a branch off of a branch too many times, the plant runs out of plant. And it doesn't generate any new ones, so eventually I do have to go back to get a new branch off of the main one, or at least off of an earlier spawned one.
So you do eventually run out of biomass.
Well, you run out of biomass on a specific branch, you don't run out overall. Like, there's still, like, almost an infinite number left, right? Where's the last one gonna show up? Okay, it's gonna be that one, okay. sometimes I'm better than others at guessing. I believe you can count it, like, if you want to really pay attention to the time, but, like, the split second I lose from just guessing and looking around is not worth it. See, this is what I mean. The plant just does not go where you want it to point. So we're heading down here to this one, and then back up to the next one, and then it'll be up to the space rock. There's a cool thing down here. I mean, there's a cool thing everywhere, but see that little leaf on top of that spire there? That is a dried spring leaf. That is effectively a hang glider, and when you're actually playing the game properly, so much fun. And if we have a little time, because I put my estimate into this game for half an hour when I was like consistently running about 25 minutes and going slightly over. I've run it under 22 minutes 3 times today, so we might have a bit extra time. If we do, I will show off those glide leaves because they are fun. Right, that's gonna hit there. Whatever it does, it's gonna hit. I think it does have some form of like deliberate. It knows that it will.
Like aim adjust?
Yeah, pretty much. So if it's close enough, it will point itself towards the right thing, and if it's very close, it will even give itself an extra couple like feet of growth just to stop it bottoming out just too early. But unfortunately, sometimes it gets that, and it's still not close enough, which means you end up with the stem dying off right as it's about to touch the rock, and it's the most frustrating thing. Because you realize that like had you just made one correction a bit more efficiently, it would have reached, and it's just the worst. Right, and then perfectly placed. Thank you very much. Sometimes they're awkwardly underneath, and you have to do the weird, dangly, floaty thing to grab it. Sometimes they're nice. They're nice and like right up at the top, ready for you to grab. Whoops. But yeah, the combination of the glide leaves and these weird lily-style tree things are just the most fun, so... Right then, that's 6, which means... there's there. Which means we are going directly upwards. There, specifically. Now this... Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes. But it's fine. Nope, that's the one we're going to next. This one first, it's closer. That happens sometimes. The plant just goes, you want to go left? No, we're going right and looping around. I don't know what does this. I theorized earlier when I was practicing that there's some kind of, you know, bone structure in the plant to keep it, you know, growing in a way that at least vaguely makes sense. And if you twist it too weirdly, it will basically come back to haunt you. And that's why it does this, but I don't know. I'm not one of the devs. Ask them.
I feel like most times if you twist bones too many times, something will come back and haunt you as a result.
Ross, this is not the time for you to steal my lungs.
Just generally, just don't twist people's bones. It's a kind thing to do there.
Serious, you can be funny later. I'm trying to concentrate.
Listen, we're live in front of over 6,000 people. I'm gonna make jokes.
Yes, but usually when you make jokes, I end up lying on the floor.
That's true. Okay, I'll relent. I'll relent for now. At least
only make a little bit of joke. Make jokes when I am no longer under time pressure. Okay, where's the last sprint? Is it under here? It's under here. Yep, there it is. So as I say, I'm very close to running out of running out of plant. So rather than going directly across to the other one, as you can see, we have to pass by the main plant to get there anyway. Like, this will run out before we reach that. So I'm just going to plug myself into the main plant and then grab a new vine to get over to that one. Easy does it.
By the way, Nordic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
While they're traversing to the other side to grab a new, fresh set of offshoots here, anything you want to say?
Yeah, actually, I've got a few things that I'd like to bring up. First and foremost, you eagle-eyed viewers will notice that we have crossed over the winter 2021 total. We are now at $2,463. So I'm going to throw the challenge out to y'all. Our number to beat here now is $3,129.91. And I think in the next couple hours, we can make that happen. I really, really do. And I'm going to read off a couple donations that took us over this last milestone. First, we've got $20 from our very own Popiter, who says, to repeat an old tradition of mine, and he's given me a challenge. And there's a story behind this, but I'm just going to click a button because I'm cheating this time around, and it is...
Stand by the first wing, just go get it from Drubble, Santicilio, go, go, go.
Beautiful. Sorry, was
So,
that
thank you, Popiter.
Go, go, go.
Yes, that really, really long Welsh city. And by the way, props for bringing that one out.
I learned that to spite my dad. Neither of us are Welsh. He just learned it. He just learned it to spite someone when he was in college, and he brought it up when I was a kid, and I learned it to spite him.
That is brilliant.
We are getting fairly close to time, by the way. I just have 2 more things to do. 1, grab a seed from the top of this plant. 2, chuck that in the thing, and then we'll be coming up to time. So, whoops, we're doing fairly well here. Just last bit. This is the awkward bit. This is the bit where I will have a lot of regrets if it goes wrong. Why are we moving? So this is the bit where I have to line myself up and try and leap onto the top of this. There we go. There's worse ways to do that. And grab one of these. Not necessarily the one that it's showing at me. I'm just going to get this one because it's on the way. Okay, yeah. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, we dropped the seed, but it's fine. There's plenty more. We didn't drop the us. That's the important part. Jim, can you not? This is the worst part of the game. I hate it. Right.
The most important final part of the run is always the most stressful.
Yeah. But it's fine because we're gonna. Okay. We're gonna head up here. We're gonna leap off the edge of this. We're gonna float in there gently. I'm probably not gonna make PB going by my own timer, but it's fine. We then need to open this up and get ready for time. Time will be when I hit the blue switch on the other side of the ship, so I need to shove this in and run over there. And Oscar has come to congratulate me on the end of the run, presumably. Get in the thing. Yes. Good.
Oscar's got an impeccable sense of timing.
Yep, he really does. Right, that's in. That means the switch is activated, and we will be there. And time. Whew. Hi. So that's Grow Home. Or at least that is the absolute base plotline of Grow Home. This is the bit where it's about to start running the credits, and it will be extremely loud. So I'm gonna.
You might want to stop your personal timer on your stream because I think that was recorded PB.
Possibly. That's slightly out of date. My PB's 2101 now, but yeah.
2101? Okay, well.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think I wasn't gonna... But I have tabbed out just so I can turn my game volume all the way down, because...
Either way, like, that was very close to your PB, so that was really well done.
It was pretty close, but do we have a time on the actual things? I think I was slightly out on hitting it anyway.
I see 2107.
2107. That's decent then. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my the volume mixer so I can turn the game audio right down so that the credits music isn't deafening. Oh, that's doing weird stuff. That shouldn't be doing that. I am having some really weird audio issues. Hang on a second. That might be Discord's fault.
Yeah, that just happens when you tab out a game sometimes.
No worries. Well, while you're fixing that, let me just read off a couple more donations that came in near the end of your run. We got $10 in from Zotan2. Says, hey, good to see this game on the ESA channel again. I ran it for ESA 2015. Good luck and don't fall off. Well, it looks like we had some good luck. Thank you very much, Zotan. We had $8 from Phil1 that says, well, I can't leave it at $7 short, so here's $8. Thanks, Phil. And we got $10 from CRoss243 that just gives us some love.
Where did the 243 come from?
It added numbers to mine earlier.
Like, I have no idea why it keeps doing that whenever I donate.
It must be something tied with your account.
Must be. I've got to fix that.
Well, apologies, Cross.
Apparently, I've just lost all audio. Sorry to interrupt, but something's broken here.